Empaths and highly sensitive people, also known as HSPs, are two very similar types of people, but they do have a few key differences. One major difference can be found in the definitions of empathetic and sensitive. To be sensitive means to detect or respond to small changes in the environment, while being empathetic is having the ability to share emotions with others. As you can see, just going by definition, they are different. Both, however, are known for being sweet, helpful, and kind-hearted to those around them, and there is much more of an overlap between them. Be sure to stick around until the end. The second to last difference is our favorite of all. Number 9. Some experts agree that all empaths are highly sensitive, but not all HSPs are empaths. Some researchers who have studied highly sensitive people and sensitivity, like Dr. Michael R. Smith and Dr. Judith Orloff, believe that all empaths meet the criteria of highly sensitive people, but not all HSPs meet those of empaths. Essentially, they claim that empaths are HSPs who take their traits a step further. Being a sensitive individual doesn't need to mean that they are in tune with other people's emotions. Instead, an HSP is sensitive to the environmental stimuli around them. To be an empath, this is also a requirement. Empaths and HSPs alike are very sensitive to all sensory information, like loud noises, bright lights, foul smells, bitter tastes, and unique textures. Thus, the key distinguishing trait is the empath component within HSPs and empaths, which we will talk about in our next tip. Number 8. On an empathetic spectrum, empaths would be at the far right with the most empathy, while HSPs would be a little to the left of them. Of course, while empathy is the distinguishing feature of empaths, it doesn't mean that HSPs lack empathy. Both are very kind, nurturing, and empathetic individuals who love helping others. However, some psychologists have formed an empathy spectrum as a way to describe where both would sit. On the far left end with no empathy, there is narcissism and sociopathy. On the far right end, with the most empathy, there are empaths. HSPs would lie somewhere between the middle and empaths, but closer to the far end of empathy. Helping people comes naturally to both. However, HSPs may be better at helping people with more tangible physical sensory issues, while empaths are skilled with helping in abstract emotional issues. Number 7. They both hate seeing any violence or cruelty. It's no surprise that both empaths and HSPs dislike seeing any sort of violence or cruelty, whether it is in real life or at the cinema. Anything that depicts harm to humans or animals will always make them feel overwhelmed. For the HSP, it is often because they are unable to physically feel the victim's sensations. The empath experiences both the physical sensations and also whatever emotions the victim is feeling too. For an HSP or an empath, inflicting harm on others never crosses their mind, so when they witness it, it is always disturbing and unpleasant. Some people might laugh at other people's misfortunes, like when a school bully trips up their classmate, but an HSP or an empath would likely rush to help them and put a stop to the needless cruelty. It is their natural tendency to help people in need. Number 6. Both are very particular about the clothing they wear because they are sensitive to certain styles and fabrics. Due to the fact that both HSPs and empaths are sensitive to environmental stimuli, they're very particular about the types of clothes they wear. Both value comfort over style and adore soft, loose-fitting, breezy outfits. Tight, constricting clothes can make them feel so uncomfortable that they'll hardly be able to enjoy themselves. Number 5. Surprisingly, empaths are sometimes known to be more extroverted than HSPs. It might come as a surprise, but empaths are usually known for being more extroverted than HSPs. This could be because of their high levels of empathy, making them extra charismatic and naturally able to navigate social situations. They have naturally adjusted to socializing frequently. Because HSPs are so sensitive to environmental stimuli, they often become overwhelmed easier and feel the need to withdraw. Empaths also experience the need to withdraw. However, they also tend to absorb people's energy more easily. For example, if an empath wasn't in the mood to go to a social gathering, but their friends came knocking at their door, bouncing with energy and begging them to join, there's a good chance that within moments the empath would feel a surge of energy. In contrast, in the same scenario, an HSP would likely become more drained from the loud, unexpected interaction. By the way, if you're finding this video valuable so far, then make sure to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and why not subscribe so you can keep learning more? It's free. Number 4. They both love nature and desire solitude. Even though the empath might be known to be more extroverted, both empaths and HSPs love to be in quiet solitude, especially in nature. Whenever the busy outside world of honking traffic or gossiping coworkers gets to be too much, going for a long hike along a peaceful river is how they treat themselves. Sometimes, HSPs and empaths become so intertwined with the world around them that they need to ground themselves by taking some time to themselves. Whether it's in a green, quiet forest or simply curled up next to their bedroom window with a cup of tea, resting in solitude is how they recharge. Number 3. Empaths absorb other people's energy more than HSPs and may struggle in distinguishing their own emotions from others. Because empaths feel and absorb other people's emotions so easily, they might sometimes find it difficult to distinguish their feelings from other people's. This can be problematic, especially due to their natural tendency to help others. If an empath is helping someone who is currently feeling depressed, they might succeed in cheering them up, but it's not uncommon for them to leave holding on to their friend's depression. Empaths are also known for pushing themselves too hard to please other people. For example, if an empath is feeling depressed and blue and in need of someone to cheer them up, but their friend invites them to a birthday party, they'll often sacrifice their own needs of self-care to attend the party. They know that it would upset their friends to miss it, so they'll push through their own depression in order to make others happy. HSPs are prone to doing this as well, but they are much quicker to set a boundary and decline invitations or turn away from helping someone if they don't have the emotional resources themselves. Because they're very sensitive, they're highly in tune with what their bodies need and don't need. Sometimes they will really want to help and care for someone, but simply not have the energy to do so. Number 2. Criticism hurts HSPs, but empaths are more resilient. It shouldn't come as a surprise that HSPs are more sensitive to criticism, given that sensitivity is in their name. When they're faced with criticism, they are more likely to experience hurt feelings than empaths. This could be because empaths are able to put themselves in another person's shoes and fully understand where the criticism is coming from. Because empaths are so aware of emotional energies, there is a chance that they will predict when criticism is coming, making it easier to tolerate and offer a rebuttal if necessary. In contrast, HSPs don't have the same level of empathy, making them more prone to be blindsided once they're hit with criticism. Because they're more sensitive than the average person, they might become emotional rather than taking the time to fully process the criticism and take it into consideration. Number 1. Both are very moved by art and beauty. Both HSPs and empaths are highly intuitive and have an appreciation for the finer things in life. Whether they are expressing their own inner emotions through a paintbrush or admiring famous pieces of art at a museum, they naturally gravitate towards visuals and sounds they find beautiful. Both empaths and HSPs love to find new music or art and try to interpret the way the artist is feeling when they made it. Discovering new ways to express themselves, either through their own work or through others, is something HSPs and empaths have in common. And if you like this video, then check out these related videos to see more. And make sure to subscribe and leave a comment saying, "I subscribed," and we will personally reply to your comment.